Happy Sunday, Pearls.
Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds.
Let's go.
Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second, I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Work it out.
We got a party for a lifetime. Oh, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. For a second, I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. I'm done, I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know you played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'Cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for it now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I know I'm not easy, I drag you out your mind. And there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's good to see you all in chat today. Thank you. Hello, chat. The best mods and the best chat on YouTube by far. How is everyone doing? Hope you are well out there in YouTube land. Today is June 9th, 2024, 6:27 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Appreciate you joining me. You have a lot of choices on YouTube all at once, and you chose to be here, and I am extremely grateful for that. Hello. Thank you, Miss Kitty. Thank you. All right. Yes. Get your snacks, get your coffee, get your soda, get your water, because we got a lot to talk about. Before we get started, though, if you don't mind, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, I would greatly appreciate it. If you did, means so much. It is a free way to help. So I was at work earlier and I guess YouTube is burning down. That's what I'm hearing, Linda. That's what I'm hearing. I haven't really got to get up with it. However, Justin, I think Chris got that new puppy for Faith, in my opinion. Um, he said I go get my new puppy. I don't know. Thank you, Blue Love. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. There's a lot of toxicity on YouTube when we are here for Sebastian and other missing children, missing people in general. And, you know, it can be very toxic. People get in their feelings. We all get in our feelings sometimes, but we're doing a disservice to ourselves, to our community, to the victims. I'm here for one thing, and that is to spread awareness for the missing and find inconsistencies where I can. And, I'll send it off. And if it helps, great. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's what I do. Thank you, Brown Eyed Gal. All right. So last night, there's a couple things that I want to cover specifically today. I was in Brittney's last night, and I went out for a while, and I guess Seth came up, from what I understand, because people said Seth was up there, and I guess I missed that. So I want to cover that. Number one. Number two, I got emails today. I thought this was well known, but I guess it's still not. About the scent that in the beginning everyone thought it was Sebastian's scent, but it's not. There has been no, zero, zilch, nada scent related to Sebastian. Nothing. Nothing. Now, there are still articles out there in the beginning of whenever Sebastian first went missing. They thought that the scent went to the pond, right? But that was not Sebastian's scent. Was and is not. And they clarified that whenever they sat down with Nick Barris. And I'm going to show you. Not only that, you can call TBI or the local department, and they will tell you. Ask for clarification. They will tell you. Trust me. They're very nice. They're very nice to me. So yeah, I mean, if don't take it specifically from me, but I'm going to show you. And it is. And the thing is, Chris keeps saying that there was a scent, and people, that would be great if there was a scent. But let me tell you something. I mean, just first of all, let's use some logic. Right? If there was a scent from the home to the pond, right? If there was a scent, sorry guys, then, and it went to the pond. Well, the pond was drained. It was dug in, and there was nothing. So where did Sebastian go from there? Exactly. There would have been a scent leading to wherever he went. You're not going to get picked up by a car from a pond that's in the middle of a field. At that time, this was very soon after Sebastian went missing, about the scent. Um, I don't, yeah, I always know when something's going off because I get a bunch of emails about this. So there is a few things that I do want to show you, and then we're going to cover Brittney's live last night, and then we're going to do some deep diving. So it's probably going to be here. I'm probably going to be here for a little bit. So buckle up because we got things to talk about. Now, I need to find Nancy Grace because I want to show you multiple times where the scent was and is not Sebastian Rogers. So let me just find this. I apologize. I just got off work and I need to pull it up. All right, let me just go to Nancy Grace because it's not coming up like that. Nancy Grace videos. It was what, 2 months ago now? I actually played it last night or something from that channel last night. Okay. All right, I got it. Okay, so credit goes to Nancy Grace. Let me just drop her in the description here. Link will be provided in the description for Nancy Grace. All right, full credit. There we go. Okay, let's go, people. Because we need to get clarification where we can, right? All right. I think it's, let me see if I can find it. All right, here we go.
Or putting out any.
You know what,
conflicting
Mr.
information.
Trasher, let me just cut the chase here. Isn't it true that this weekend, pursuant to your search, that cadaver dogs hit in an area that had been closed off because of a prior hurricane, and it is on federal property? Bones and other items were found at that time. I found that very odd, as it would relate to Sebastian. Even if it was Sebastian, his body would not have been skeletonized at this time. Can you tell me now that what was found over the weekend is not connected to Sebastian? Yes, no.
No.
Not
No,
connected to
that hit,
Sebastian.
That hit was, yeah, that's correct. That hit was not connected to Sebastian.
Okay. Joining me also, in addition to Brian Trasher, who.
Okay, so that is regarding where I think they were looking in a park area, right? Oh, Lisa, he really has. You're right. He really has. That was in a park area. That's when JLR and all of them were down there. And, you know, they thought they might have found something. And it was where, like, a tornado. That was nothing as well. There has been zero. And when I say zero, nothing to point that Sebastian ran off on his own. The only thing that we know is there is a disappearance. We do not know how he disappeared. We have no idea. Whether he walked off on his own, to me, that's a very unlikely thing considering there's nothing. But we have still, at the end of the day, we have no
Who
idea.
has been leading the Cajun Navy in its search for Sebastian. Hold on, Brian. Other than those hits, have there been any
Listen.
other dog hits in and around the home or elsewhere?
Not from our canine team.
I'm very concerned, Brian, as you can imagine, because LE law enforcement has stated there were no canine hits outside the home, which I find very, very disturbing. Because if he had gone outside, particularly barefoot, there would definitely have been a scent trail. Now, we're hearing from the Proudfoots that there was a
Watch
hit
him picking.
around that retention pond. How far is that pond from your home, Mr. Proudfoot?
Less than probably half a mile if you walk the whole path.
Is it through wooded area? Would he have had to walk through the woods to get there?
No, ma'am. You can actually walk either the main road or the subdivision. So the construction site is a subdivision, new addition that's being built, and they have a road that's going to be tied into our subdivision. So you could actually walk up that way, or you could walk to the main road and walk into it.
You can bet your molasses on it that Nancy Grace asked law enforcement, has there been any hits? She knows the answer to the question that she's going to ask usually before she asks it. And she just said that law enforcement has said that there has been none, zero, zilch, nada. Trace of Sebastian. No hit, no scent, no camera, no footprint.
Did Sebastian ever sleepwalk?
No, ma'am.
So he would have had to leave the house undetected by Katie and walk all the way to that retention pond. Did the dogs follow the trail a half a mile?
Yes, ma'am.
They followed the trail all the way to that retention pond?
Yes, ma'am.
No, they didn't.
That's very curious, as they are saying the dogs didn't pick anything up. Back to you, Brian Trasher. Did you guys search anywhere other than that federal property where the false positive was? Yes, no.
No.
Look at this.
Joining me is Courtney Lasky, high profile.
You have someone that was there who had their dogs there as well. He said, we didn't get a scent. We didn't get a scent.
Behavior analyst, autism expert, chief clinical officer with Little Starts Therapy. Courtney, thank you for being with us. At this juncture, we know Sebastian to be most likely with people he doesn't know, if in fact he is still alive.
Okay, so there is that part right there. Now, there are a few more things that I want to show you just so we can absolutely clarify what is what, right? So just want to show you for sure what is going on here. All right. Let me find it. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Where is it at? I got to look through this article. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Here we go. And this is March 1st, 2024. 26, 27, 28, 29. Wait, no, he went. There's only 28 days in February. How many was there? 29 this year? Let me see how many days in February were those. 29. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 1 second. 4 days after Sebastian went missing. This should be extremely clear by now, but I guess it's not. This is from WKRN. Okay. Thousands of miles have been searched in multiple directions in the days since Monday, February 26th. Investigators said on Friday, March 1st, will focus on areas west of the previous search grid. Thousands of miles had been searched in the first 4 days, y'all. They have searched over 10 to 12,000 miles in a matter of 4 days in a 5-mile radius. There was a glimpse of hope Thursday, February 29th, as search dogs tracked a scent, but it turned out to be a false alert. Investigators also drained a pond to the east of Sebastian's home and found nothing. Sebastian's home had been searched at least 10 times, and officials are continuing to expand the search. So there is that. Okay. There is that. So I just want to show you that as well. Now, and another one is News Nation reports the same thing. I'm just not giving you just like, I just want you guys to know that I'm not just giving you one, one article that says it. Multiple. Let me see here. And they were looking at the dump as well. But this is, to me, the most important, what we are going to watch here. I need to put this in my description. Bear with me. News. This is credit goes to News Channel 5. News Channel 5. And this is going to tell you, this is from the mouth. Because this is, we are over 100 days into this, and this is still, people are still saying that there's no scent, or that there was a scent rather.
In this exclusive report.
It was 1 month ago that Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home. Now, this is one of the first times anyone's been inside the Sumner County Emergency Operations Center with a chance to take a look at all that's been done on this map to help find the teen.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
Ken Widener is director of Sumner County EMA, and from the beginning, he has spearheaded the official search for Sebastian.
The investigation's still active.
It was nonstop during the first 8 days after the teen disappeared. No trace of him. The professional search effort has since been scaled back, though.
What's that? No trace of him. No trace of him. But there's more. There's more. Just wait.
Widener appreciates volunteers who continue to look following their own leads.
I'm not going to beat up psychics and things, but we've got to vet what we do before we do it.
Widener says they follow up credible leads from law enforcement.
And anytime the sheriff's office indicates or TBI indicates we've got an area of interest that we need to search, we're ready to go.
And this sophisticated mapping system in the Emergency Ops Center shows they've been busy. There's a report of bones found, and they go.
Fresh bones. We checked that out. It was deer bones.
Divers and spelunkers have been deployed to area ponds and sinkholes.
The white dots are caved, and they've all been searched.
Also, they've looked in every storm drain within a half mile of Sebastian's home, and some have wondered about the home itself.
The house was searched at least 10 times.
Dogs?
Dogs, yep.
Widener says bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
None of them, to my understanding, were actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
to date,
Oh, contrary to some reports. Do me a favor. If you still don't believe it, call. Call. They will tell you that there was and is and has been no trail sent to Sebastian. I want to replay that.
half mile of Sebastian's home, and some have wondered about the home itself.
The house was searched at least 10 times.
Dogs?
Dogs, yep.
Widener says bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
None of them, to my understanding, were actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
to date, it's as though the boy simply disappeared. Have you found evidence of Sebastian yourself when you've been out there?
No.
Has been
You hear that? Have you found evidence of Sebastian being out there? Nope. There's no evidence. You had to rewind. You go, Justin. No scent. There is no scent. There, because it was driving me nuts before, and that's when I called. And then I saw this as well. I remember this. There is no scent. And if someone is telling you there is, they're wrong. They're wrong. No scent at all.
of Sebastian's home, and some have wondered about the home itself.
The house was searched at least 10 times.
Dogs?
Dogs, yep.
Widener says bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
None of them, to my understanding, were actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
to date, it's as though the boy simply disappeared. Have you found evidence of Sebastian yourself when you've been out there?
No.
This is from the TBI Operation Center. TBI Operation Center. Why on earth would cadaver dogs be used if there wasn't a great possibility? Right? Right. So anytime, I probably got 6 emails today talking about this. Nothing. There is nothing, y'all. Nothing. And that is the problem. Now, Chris and Katie are hanging on to that dispatch call for dear life, right? Because you hear, yeah, the emergency management. You're right. I apologize. You hear in that dispatch call that they got, a trail and that there is footprints. Well, they didn't even have Sebastian's clothing then for that. They didn't even have Sebastian's clothing. So Chris and Katie are hanging on to that. Right? In my opinion, for a reason, but regardless of my opinion, there is no scent. None. Serenity, thank you, darling. Thank you so much for becoming a pearl. Y'all, give it up for Serenity. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. I appreciate that. Yes, it was a false alert, a false hit, if you will. There's nothing. Nothing. And it's very frustrating, right? If there was a scent of Sebastian, people would say there he walked out the door, there's a scent of him, but he's not on camera. Or there's footprints of him, but there's none. There is none. So so I hope I answered that clearly as possible. All right. Well, now let's get to why is there no scent? That's the question. Because just like Nancy Grace said, if Sebastian was especially barefooted, but most people aren't barefooted and you would get a scent. Thank you, Lisa. There would absolutely be a scent. And you know something? The colder it is, by the way, the better the scent sticks to the ground or in the area. So that should tell you something too. Nobody talks about that either. When it's hot and it's dry, scent does not stay as long. When it's cold or cooler out, scent stays around longer. Susan, thank you so very much, my friend, for 3 months. Sebastian's Armin. Thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for being a pearl. All right, so I am will be seeing this for the first time myself, and what's Brittney's channel? Allegedly with Brittney, is that it? Brittney J. Okay. So I missed it last night whenever Anna, I've had to send we're working on that. I can't say anything about it right now, but we're working to verify something. Okay. So this is I some of you may have seen this. I have not seen this or heard it yet. So I have no idea what credit goes to Brittney, allegedly with Brittney J. I'm going to put her link in the description for the replay. Brittney J. Okay. All right. Link is provided in the description.
Daughter, you
Just gonna make this quick because it's 11 o'clock at night. I've been busy all day.
okay.
And I got an early morning. I've got searchers coming in again next week. Got places to go. Got to get what little sleep I can.
Oh, he's got searchers coming in next week. That's something Chris and Katie can't say.
I understand.
I sent out cease and desist. These people are nasty.
Oh, they are.
And no parent of a missing child should ever have to sit there and listen to the people slander him and I've listened to people call my son a sexual offender.
Wow. People have actually said that? That is... Got a secret, can you keep it? Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much for 1 month. We're Sebastian, Katie. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's just say Katie has a type, loud, obnoxious, self-centered man. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't agree with Seth putting out the cease and desist. To me, it's not going to do anything, right? People are not going to stop talking about it. To me, it only gives them more to say, see, look at him. But, I mean, maybe the girlfriend or something that he had, but I can't, I don't agree with that. I mean, but I also think, nobody should be, I mean, Seth is innocent. He had nothing to do with Sebastian's missing. He had nothing to do with it. He had nothing to do with it. So he may be at times say or do some stuff that we don't agree with, but at the end of the day, just sitting there bashing him is doing nothing productive. It's doing nothing productive. You know what? Tear into his timeline. Go for that. Go for that. Right? But you're going to soon find out where he was. So just saying, oh, well, he did this years ago or he did that years ago helps nothing with benefiting Sebastian's case whatsoever. None.
I've listened to people call me one.
Yep.
Nobody should be calling anybody that.
Right? I
That's
didn't have
terrible.
any relations with Sebastian's mother until she was way after the age of 18.
Thank
People
you.
need to get off their high horse.
Agreed.
Because I'll tell you right now, I don't have to do anything and God will knock you down. But I sent cease and desist to make sure that there is proof in the legal system that I am not connected to these people.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand that, what he means there, that he's not connected with these people. I mean, unless it's, if it's for something later that he, after all of this happens, whatever happens, Sebastian is found or whatever, that if he wants to sue later, if that's what he means. But that's the only thing I could think of is that the reason he's not connected to him. I mean, we know you're not connected to him, but I don't know if he's sending out this cease and desist because later he may sue because, I mean, it's not going, they're not going to stop, right? People, there's a problem with people who are not, they're just so dug in their ways, no matter what, it points at, that Chris was at work, right? He's busted his ass trying to find his kid. Was he the best dad? I don't know. Probably not at times. But, he's doing his damnedest right now. And I'm not going to, I don't agree with a lot of shit he has said, right? And I don't like a lot of the shit he has said. Sorry, Seth, rather. If I said something else, I apologize. But if I am going to be productive, I can sit here and just, it's so easy to bash right? It's so easy to bash. You don't have to use your brain. You don't have to use your brain. So that's why a lot of people do it on here. You don't have to use your brain. You don't have to spend hours of research before you do a live. Right? But it does nothing. It does nothing.
Yeah.
That way, I'm not sitting there and they can sit there and say whatever they want. Defamation is pretty easy when someone's sitting there for 6 hours on a live panel, letting people talk massive amounts of crap about me and accuse me of.
Okay. I want to Yes, Art Taylor. That was in the barn, and it was a fake mannequin. It was a fake mannequin that's been there for decades
Everything
in that
from
barn.
putting a nail into Jesus Christ on a cross or pushing the red button for Biden. You know,
Yeah.
you say whatever you want about me, but when you start talking trash about my son, or you're using pictures of my son and stupid little things for click me bait because you guys want to make money, and when I say you all, I mean everybody who's out there. When my YouTube channel comes out and I sit there and I make people pay for a membership to listen to me give updates, I know that I'm going to receive nothing but negative attention about it. Nothing but negative attention because Lord knows I'm the child's father. I need to make sure I have flyers. I need more yard signs. I need more materials and more resources. And there's not enough.
Absolutely.
There is not enough until my son comes home. People want to talk about me being at work. That's my personal life. Get over it. You're not going to find out if I'm at work or not. It's none of your business. I've had people infiltrate my home. I've had people sit there and literally lie and have conversations that you just wouldn't have with a person. Not if you.
Now I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest here with Seth. Seth said he's had people infiltrate his home. You opened it up to him, though, Seth. You did
Actually
open
had
it
a
up to him. So you got to take accountability for that.
And to have people come in afterwards and call me on a live chat, and I didn't even know I was live, and start asking me questions about stuff that I had no idea what was going on. That's pretty dirty. All right. And then sit there. I get phone calls from Sumner County and from TBI about everything that's going on. Well, they need to stay in their lane. Don't ask me what I have a civil attorney doing for me. All right. They need to be focused on investigating and finding my son. But every time one of these creators open their mouth,
I mean, I'll be honest with you, regardless of, what I think Seth did to Trevor is absolutely uncalled for, but I cannot go after, bash, talk about a man looking for his child that I know have nothing to do with it. You don't have to like him. Nobody's asking you to like him, right? But how can someone say things about him whenever he's doing everything he can? Now, Tony, you know,
and I say that term very loosely because there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are not creators. All they are is we'll take what this person did and we'll go over it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
And
right.
I'll tell you right now,
it's not Cookie Crunch. It's
they
not.
don't. I
It's not his. It's not his. It's nobody's. You're right. It's nobody.
have no respect for them. I don't. But that's my personal opinion. And I don't care if somebody has respect for me or not. I'm looking for my son. And I said, I will dance with the devil and show the devil a few moves in order to find my son. And that
Thank you,
means I'll do
Tammy.
whatever I need to do within the limits of the law because me going to jail doesn't help my son.
Right.
But I will never stop looking for him. And anybody that wants to be an obstacle in my way, I feel sorry for them. because karma's a bitch, and God will knock them down.
You're right about that. I want to
All
clear
right.
something up with you while you're here.
And that's fair,
This-
Maggie.
And
this
just
is-
so
Maggie, that is absolutely fair. You know, do you think he did it? No. Do I think he's a good guy? No. That's fair. That's fair. Right? That's, that's the way you feel. That's the way you feel. But you're not, you're not like you have balance, right? Which is not what a lot of
you know,
people
I sent
on YouTube
6
have.
people cease and desist. 6,
Six,
not
okay.
50. Yeah, 6, not
6.
50 like T-Rev is talking about. And I tell you what, anybody that's out here on a YouTube, whether they're a creator or whatever they want to classify themselves at, if they're literally out there spreading Sebastian's case in a positive light, not a negative light. There's enough negativity in this world. People say I start drama. Don't ask me questions that start drama. I'll give you an honest answer. You may not like the fact that I give an honest answer, and other people may not like the fact that I am brutally honest. But it'll even say in one of those declarations that came.
I mean, I think personally, Tony has not helped Seth. Tony said 50. That's where T-Rev got the number. Okay. And again, there it is, Seth. There it is again. Tony, from what chat's saying, that is where, the 50 came from. So there's that. Now, there's that. And Tony does not help at all. At all, Seth. He doesn't help.
Katie wrote in my divorce that I tell people the truth. And I literally will sit there and state whether it has anything to do with it. And that always used to piss her off. She hated it when I talked about anything that was going on in the house.
Oh, absolutely.
She was like, that's a random stranger. I've been like, well, I can't talk to you about it. I'm going to talk to a random person that doesn't know anything and bounce the ideas off of them because they might have the answer. God
That's
may
fair.
say, this is how you should answer this gentleman, and give me the answer because God works in mysterious ways. That crazy person that's asking for change out there on
Well,
the street corner.
Now, listen, Mel. The Children's Act that passed in the 90s, the Children's Victim Act, parents cannot profit off of their missing children. They cannot. So, for instance, like if Seth, I don't know if, like, for instance, Seth, like, there was rumors about Seth charging for interviews. That is absolutely false. 1000% false. But if he would try to charge, for instance, Katie or Chris, any of them, that would go, that is a crime. That is a crime to profit. Now you're going to say, well, what about a GoFundMe? That's not technically profit. That is a donation. Donation is different. So there's that as well. Now, if he, for instance, or any of them, any parent that has a missing child says, I'll do an interview for, $100 or $500. You cannot do that. That is wrong. Cash App is a donation as well. Cash App is a donation as well. So there's that. It is, if it's just a donation without, right, like if they would send, for instance, $100 and they would write for interview, that is different. But if they just send money, right, just send money for as a donation, that is different.
That person could have an answer. The first places that I hit were homeless encampments.
He would never
I've been
charge.
homeless before. Thank you to my ex-wife for making me homeless. Why didn't I get full custody? I was homeless, living in a vehicle. I praised God every day. I got joint custody. Do you think I wanted full custody? Without a doubt. I should have my son living with me right now. But yet I'm still a suspect of my son's disappearance. You guys don't know what kind of effect that has on a person's psyche. To know that I'm getting phone calls from law enforcement about me sending out cease and desist from my attorney, who is doing her job because she wants to make sure that people in the legal system know that these people do not represent me, and therefore they have been sent a cease and desist.
So law enforcement did not want you to send out those letters?
No, law enforcement has called me about them because everybody's up in arms that I said.
Law enforcement doesn't care one way or another. You know, whether he sends out
Now, a cease and desist. Some of these people live right there in Sumner County. 3 of them do. T-Rev lives there. Klumati lives there. And so does T-Rev's girlfriend. I'm not even going to speak her name. She ain't worth it.
Whoa.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, but Maggie, Section 8 in California, it is a 3 to 5 year waiting period. Section 8. It's
live there.
Ridiculous. It should never be that.
And you know what? T-Rev has never showed up for a search. Oh, he bought hot dogs and buns. Appreciate it, buddy. I didn't appreciate everything else you did, like taking a picture of me while I was in my recliner in my house, stepping into my sanctuary and violating my sanctuary. Because not only did you violate my sanctuary, but this is also my son's sanctuary. I didn't appreciate that. Klumati showed up for, one search, only one search. And she acted all nice and friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced herself by her name, not by her, never once told me that she was a YouTubist, none of that sort of stuff. But I treated her like a regular researcher. Hi, thank you. I appreciate your help. And then she turns around and plays, I want to be number 6 on, CP's list of marriage or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. People want to talk trash about me, but people want to look at me and tell me I'm trash and that I'm despicable because I have an opinion, an attitude.
No, you don't deserve.
My son is missing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody who's never been in my position has the right to tell me anything. All right.
I agree.
Those that do have been in this position, I've spoken to, and I get different opinions from other people. And people you need to get rid of this person on your team. No, I get rid of people that I watch their activities, I watch their actions, I listen to their words. And when actions and words don't meet up.
Well, sometimes people are in your ear too, Seth. Sometimes people are in your ear, and that probably pumps you up a little bit. You are completely wrong about Trevor. Completely wrong about Trevor.
Something is wrong. I've always been a person that explains to my son that anybody can say anything, but your actions will speak louder to your words. What CP did to my son is horrific. My son cleans his.
Now, that makes me wonder right there what is in those records. That makes me wonder what is in those records. Hey, Mimi. Listen to that again. He said,
anybody can say anything, but your actions will speak louder to your words. What CP did to my son is horrific. My son cleans his room. Why? Because I use logic with him. Sebastian, you can't find this toy. You know why you can't find this toy? Because I had to come and clean up your room while you were gone. Now, if you clean up your room and you put things back when you
Baby kisses. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Guys, I mean, we know that the accounts of what Chris has allegedly done, according to Nina, saying her experiences. This man has had 5 wives, right? Something is off. Something is off. Something is off. And you have seen how, I mean, just the night he talked to Josh on Smiley's, he was so mad over one question. Way off.
you come back in here, you will know where everything is because you've put it in its special spot.
Exactly.
You didn't make
Yep.
him clean it up and go take his things to the trash, right? Make him throw his
Hell
own
no.
things away. Yeah,
You know,
that's
this might be seen kind of selfish, but I'm a parent.
I mean, to make you move in with Katie and Sebastian when y'all were in California, and you make an autistic child with a chromosome deletion get rid of his 2 cats. Then you bring in 30 snakes into the house. And then all of a sudden, you don't want them. And Sebastian has his, and he loves that serpent. I don't like snakes, but he does. And he shouldn't have been made to get away, get rid of it. And now he gets a dog, and he's calling Seth up. I want Sebastian to live with you. I want Sebastian to live with you. Then you throw his stuff away. You throw his stuff away in his room because he didn't pick it up. Could the kid have anything? Could the kid have anything? That breaks my heart. Like, guys, you have no idea. That breaks my heart because the thing, no stability. The kid just wanted something to love and something and someone to love him. He didn't have friends, right? He didn't really have friends. And when he's playing with stuff in his room, I don't know of most kids' rooms they lay stuff everywhere, right? They lay stuff everywhere. Hey, Amy Joe.
I'm on a limited income because I work for the county. All right. I make 50,000 a year. I work 12-hour shifts and I deal with murderers and inmates that I believe can change.
absolutely.
All right. And I treat them like they're human beings
Yeah.
because I expect them to change. Are my sights set too high? Probably.
Joyce,
But that's not for me to judge.
Joyce asked, is it true that the Morkies are gone and now CP has a new dog? He does have a new dog. I have no idea if the Morkies are gone, but there was a golden doodle or something they had before that was gone too. So, gets rid of everything of Sebastian's, but God, if he wants something.
I'm there to make sure they're safe while they're in jail before they go to prison. All right. I have a badge. I'm supposed to uphold that badge. I don't hide behind that badge. I am the representation of what the badge is supposed to be: honor, integrity, courage, commitment. Only I can do that. I've had inmates, oh, you hide behind the badge. No, I'm the same person when you see me at Walmart in a pair of shorts and a t shirt, grabbing a gallon of milk and orange juice to go home so that my son has milk and orange juice to drink. Pick him up whatever he wants, whatever he wants to cook for dinner, or whatever he wants me to cook for breakfast, so on and so forth. I work when my son is here with me, I work with him so that everything in this house is his. He knows what is his. He has to have room to grow. You cannot sit there and keep somebody trapped in a cube and expect them to grow. That does not work.
Absolutely. 100%.
People want to give me grief for how I raised my son. Well, I am sorry. I didn't think I should take him out on the street corner and pick a fight with somebody and show him what a real beating was. Yes. Did I tell my son I was going to bust his butt? Sure did. Did I use that exact verbiage? Probably not. Hello.
Well, that's something
I'm
nobody
a
should
first
do.
time parent. It's a never ending, everyday learn something new.
Yeah.
So I used a video game, which is better than watching an R-rated movie with a bunch of people being shot and having heads cut off, or things like that. No, I took a video game that we have played and I put the blood mode on so you can actually see it, because before there was none. I turned it off. He doesn't need to see all that. But yet I get criticized, and most of these people that criticize me don't even have kids.
Yeah, I honestly don't hold that.
I have never once said I was perfect, nor will I ever say I am perfect. Sebastian, my son, may think that I walk on water, and I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that, because that means I'm his hero.
That's right.
Now, Katie did say that if he was in any activities outside of school, that Seth would have been the one in the front row cheering him on. I think that says something.
You're right. And you don't deserve
Have
to
I
have.
failed my son? Oh, yes. I am my worst critique ever. None of these people I hear saying anything can make me.
I feel really bad for Seth here. I really do. I feel really bad for him. This man is in pain. He is struggling. Justin, can you go back? In my opinion, I feel like there is something in the statement about not taking Sebastian to the street corner to learn brawling. That is a strange statement.
So on and so forth. I work when my son is here with me. I work with him so that everything in this house is his. He knows what is his.
Thank you so much, my dear Darzilla. Appreciate you. Seth must not be paying attention and listening to Tony, because, in my opinion, he has spread more false info and started more drama than anyone else. How do you think? I mean, just curious, Darzilla. Like, why? Like, what do you mean? Could you give me some examples, like, on how you mean? Because I think Seth did not do himself any favors by putting out cease and desist, right? I think he at times can be very um I don't know. I don't know. I definitely don't think he's perfect. I definitely don't think he's perfect. I think sometimes he's um but I don't know. I don't know how what frame of mind I would be in, right? Like I don't know how I could even think if your kid was missing.
Has to have room to grow. You cannot sit there and keep somebody trapped in a cube and expect them to grow. That does not work.
Absolutely. 100%.
People want to give me grief for how I raised my son. Well, I am sorry. I didn't think I should.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Tippy Toe. It's Seth's business who he trusts and who he doesn't. Why criticize him when he chooses for who chooses to help him? He's doing the best he can and he knows these people better than we do. I I hear you and I understand what you're saying and you're right. It's his business who he trusts. It is his business who he trusts. But I can tell you from Trevor, anybody that it's in my opinion, anybody that is around Seth, Tony, like pushes them away. Like pushes them away. And he's wrong. Like he is wrong about Trevor, right? I mean, I support Seth because I know he didn't do anything. Do I like everything that he does? Says no, but it has everything that he is, you know, saying or doing. It doesn't really. I think people just need to quit fighting and look for Sebastian. Really, look for the inconsistencies. Right, look for uh Sebastian.
And take him out on the street corner and pick a fight with somebody and show him what a real beating was. Yes. Did I tell my son I was going to bust his butt? Sure did. Did I use that exact verbiage? Probably not. Hello. I'm a first time parent. It's a never ending, everyday learn something new.
Yeah.
So I used a video game, which is better than watching an R-rated movie with a bunch of people being shot and having heads cut off, or things like that. No, I took a video game that we have played and I put the blood mode on so you can actually see it, because before there was none. I turned it off. He doesn't need to see all that. But yet I get criticized, and most of these people that criticize me don't even have kids.
Yeah. I honestly don't hold that.
I have never once said I was perfect, nor will I ever say am perfect. Sebastian, my son, may think that I walk on water, and I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that, because that means I'm his hero.
That's right. You're right. And you don't deserve
Have
to
I
have.
failed my son? Oh,
Mhm.
yes. I am my worst critique ever. None of
Oh,
these people I hear saying anything can make me feel worse than
I
I
agree.
already am,
oh,
until they sit there and start talking about my son being a sexual offender or any of that. My son was with me all last
yeah.
on the Christmas break. Faith wasn't here.
I'll be honest with you. I don't. I think Seth is a pretty. I don't know. I think he. Uh, Nothing.
I saw that rumor going out there. Sebastian was with me before Faith even got here. So people need to shut that rumor up.
We
All right.
did. Trust me. We have fought diligently to
That's
make
a
sure that
15-year
that's
old
not
kid
true.
that's missing.
That's right. And that should never.
Right. I mean, like the way he did the Mortal Kombat thing and all that. I mean, that's not how I would do it. That's definitely not how I would do it. And I don't think, but again, we can bitch about this stuff all day long. All day long. When Sebastian is still not found. So why am I going to sit here and bitch about a Mortal Kombat game? You know what I mean? Like, it just does nothing. It does nothing. That's what I mean. Like, isn't the whole thing to find Sebastian? Isn't that what it's about? Is finding Sebastian? I want to know timelines. That's what I want to know. Right? I want to know where you was at, what you were doing. So to me, it's just like, yeah, that's not how I would do it. It's definitely not how I would do it. But that's just it. It just does it like I can sit and bitch about things that he said to Trevor that I don't agree with, but it's just filler. It's just filler, right? It does nothing with Sebastian being missing. And I just think people get so sidetracked so easy. Yeah, don't attack anyone in chat, please. Whoever's doing that. No, but I mean, I can, you know, bitch about Chris saying he was, or his family saying he was allegedly going to run over Nina, right? But I don't like it. I think it's wrong, but it does nothing to help find Sebastian, right? It does nothing, right? The only thing I care about is cameras, routes, timelines, you know. I mean, if you are into, oh well, Seth showed him more. 1 second, please. I can, and that goes for, you know, Chris and Katie too. If it doesn't come out of their mouth, then what someone else necessarily says about them doesn't really, I mean, I take it, but I don't use it against them. You know what I mean? It just does nothing. Um like to me, if you're bitching about Seth's Mortal Kombat game, or you're bitching about uh you know Chris, with the Nina thing, I think they're completely wrong. I don't support it at all. Either thing, what either one of them did or allegedly did. But that's not my worry right now. Like, I think our worry should be this case, right? We're so, well, what about in 1967 when Chris did this? Well, that didn't come out of Chris's mouth. Well, what about in 1942 when, you know, Seth's great grandma said this? Okay. And how does that do, with February 26, 2024? Does nothing define this kid. This is what that is drama. It's crama, if you will, at best, crama. Anybody that talks about that shit, it's not real true crime. We're going to talk about timelines, inconsistencies, that kind of stuff on my channel.
Never. That should have never come out of anybody's mouth. And believe you me, here and in a lot of places I know, Seth, it won't
Not
be
here.
spoken, and we shut
We're
it
true
down.
crime.
There's nothing to even that
But
is
there
ever.
are YouTubers out here that promote that stuff.
I
They
know.
got cease and desist because they're nasty and vile things.
Well, that they have an agenda, right? They're playing up to Christopher Proudfoot. They wanted him on panel because they're getting the views from him being there because he acts like such an ass.
You know, we could all act like an ass, and that there is nobody in this world that can't act like one. But what it comes down to
Love you guys too.
is that he's not looking for Sebastian. His family's
right.
not looking for Sebastian. His
That's
own
right.
mother, Sebastian's own mother, is not looking for Sebastian.
It's insane. It's craziness. To
Seth
get in a
was-
camper, and
It's-
go 3.5 hours away from your house with your child
Well,
missing.
come on, it's 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. How foolish of me. You're exactly right. That was
You know, let's break this down because Lord help us, we may or may not get stuck behind a
Nintendo Switches do have internet access. However, again, I don't know if there was a time limit on it. I don't know if Sebastian had the password to the internet. And I'll be honest with you, I think if, for instance, if Sebastian met someone, right, I think this would have been solved a long time ago. That's my opinion. Sorry, I was reading something. So there, did he play more than what we thought? Perhaps, but I just don't think. I don't think finding, him supposedly, maybe, perhaps, talk to someone online. I don't think. I think this would have been. We would have. I think the parents would have been cleared a long time by now. I think the parents would have been cleared a long time ago.
semi on Route
It's my
40.
opinion, though. Doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid just
It is.
because nothing is ever finite. Everything is infinite. There's no, it takes 3 minutes to do this. That's bullshit. You ask anybody, there's too many holes in their stories.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
just incredible. It's
I
incredible.
know where I was at, and it really upsets me that they haven't cleared me. They
Yeah.
have literally pulled over a year of my phone records. They have taken all the electronics. Yeah, I want my son to have his stuff.
Right. I mean, and again, thought criminal. Lying about a polygraph is Chris Watts level BS. And again, Chris said he passed a polygraph. Right? And then he said, I didn't say who passed a polygraph. The only person we technically know that passed a polygraph, which to me, it doesn't matter either way, if they pass, if they failed, I don't believe in this shit anyways. To be honest, it's pseudoscience. You can do a little stuff. We did a live here on it. It's you just have to do some things. But anyway, the only person we absolutely knew who passed the polygraph is Seth, which I figured he would pass it anyways because he was at work. And that's because the polygrapher came on and said he passed the polygraph. Now, Chris said they've been cleared. No, they haven't. They have said there's no evidence either way. You know, all possibilities are on the table. But that's it. And hell, Seth will tell you he's a suspect technically because he has not been cleared by the TBI. My opinion, that's strategically for a reason. But One Love, thank you so much for your support, my dear. I appreciate it. Thank you, dear. And that is right. At the end of the day, Sebastian went missing under Katie and technically Chris's roof. They know, and unless law enforcement start putting some pressure on them, in my humble opinion, they are going to live their best life. You know, at the end of the day, we know Katie was there. We know Katie was there. And Katie is the quietest. Katie's the quietest. The mother is usually the loudest. Right? The mother's usually the one in front of the television. Thank you, Nikki.
Back. I want my son to be found and walk into his room and it be set up just like it was when he went missing.
She absolutely is.
So that he can start readjusting back to life.
That's right.
Okay. And if nobody has an autistic child,
How
then
can
they don't
anyone
know.
be cleared when Sebastian is still missing? Well, you corroborate where they were. You know, that's a start, you know. That there's no possibility that they did anything. I mean, that's, you know, the two people that is the easiest to clear. The two people that should be easiest to clear is Seth and Chris. Those should be the two people easiest to clear because Seth was in a jail. And every 10 feet, you have to put your badge up to open up another door. And there's 10,400 cameras in a jail. Right? So I believe absolutely they could clear him if they wanted to. Now, Chris, I don't know. You know, if they see him riding around, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night in Memphis or somewhere in Mississippi. Yesterday you said 10,420. What did I say today? How do you remember that, JK? How do you remember that? That's so funny you remember that. Then they could probably clear him. Right? But Katie's a whole different ball game. You know, from all I think well literally day not day 1 but day number 1 interview, Chris said there's no foul play, everything's sorted out. Parents could not be, you know, involved. That's not what law enforcement said. They said there's no sign of them doing anything or not doing anything. This case will be studied for years, that kind of thing.
Know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But my son, when he came home, he would walk into his room and everything is left just like he picked it up and put it.
Yep, that's his comfort.
That's his sanctuary within our sanctuary. And what's funny is he doesn't.
I mean, I feel horrible for Seth that this is his only child. This is it. And if Katie turns out to be innocent, I will feel equally horrible for her. But as of now, I absolutely feel horrible for Seth. This is his only kid. This is it. It's all he'll probably ever have. And to be honest with you, the likelihood of Sebastian coming home alive statistically at this point is a little nothing short. It would be nothing short of a major act of God. It would be nothing short of a major act of God. Not saying it can't happen, but it would be a absolute miracle statistically. So I just, you know, don't like the things that he says a lot of times. Sometimes his behavior's off, but I have compassion for this man. You know, sometimes you have to have compassion despite whether you like someone, don't like someone, just because.
When he's at my house, he spends more time in the recliner than he does in his own room. Because he'd rather be out here in the living room where I am than in his room like he is at his mom and Chris's. He stays in his room there.
Yeah.
Here, he lives in my shitty 2-bedroom with a garage, 900 square foot place that I pay rent for. That my rent has increased since I moved here in October of 2020. My rent has gone from $700 to over $1,000, and I don't move because he is used to this.
Yeah.
Well,
He
and I
has
want to
his own
say,
room.
I want
He
to
has
say
his own-
something on your behalf about that real quick, okay? Because I'm tired of everybody saying everything you say has something to do with money. No, what he's saying is he's willing to rip himself off by not finding something cheaper because he
Or
wants
bigger.
his child to have a home that he is safe and I have a child on the spectrum too, Seth. So I get what.
So
I get
how it is.
Yes, I do.
Change is constant, but if you can limit what little change,
Yes,
then it does them so well.
yes. And then when he comes home to you, he's home where everything's where you left it. For I understand. Yes, more than you know. And I'm so sorry for what you're going
I hate
through.
my voice.
I tell you, it grips
tell you
my
what.
heart.
Brittany, I hate my voice. I cringe when I hear my voice. I cringe, but I'm thankful, Lord. I'm just saying. Just
If I
I
get my son
cringe.
back, I don't care. I'll go through even more. But I want my son. I want him found. I want him returned home to me. And all these people out here, I hope like hell you never have a child and have to go through anything resembling what I'm going through. Not even for 30 minutes.
You guys are awesome. 32 more for 1,000 thumbs up. You guys are amazing. Whether you agree with me or don't agree with me, you're freaking amazing. I just want you to know that.
Been over 100 days. For me, it's been even longer because it's been 7 more days.
People say my voice is very calming, but I can't. I really can't with my
So
voice.
sorry, Seth. So sorry.
And it's just
Thank you.
there's evil people out there. There's people that are negative naysayers, ones that just love to start drama.
Thank you,
Well, you
Lucas.
ask questions and I answer questions. And the questions you ask are meant to
Thank you.
start drama. And I can't help that I answer questions. But if I don't answer the questions, I can't win
Thank
for
you.
losing. And I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to find my son.
Seth, I just want to tell you one
We had
thing.
1,000. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so good to me. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Very kind. Yes.
I am with you 100%. And I know that you love your son. I know that you are 100% into finding your son. I'm not, from the very start, that's how I felt. And I am not going to change my mind.
Hmm. I need to ask you this because I want to clear this up. It's been going around that you are asking for money for interviews. Can you clarify if that is true or not?
Nobody's giving me nothing for interviews.
Like I said, that is against the law. In the 90s, the child, I think it's what is it, the Child Right Act was passed. People, family members of a victim cannot profit from their loved one. Again, I know people's going to say, well, what about? And the what about is the Cash App or the GoFundMe. Those are donations. Donations are different than profiting. Okay. Um, you may not like it. Seth had a GoFundMe or whatever. That's fine if you don't like it, but that's not profiting. That is donating. I donated to Seth. When I donate, I give from my heart. I have no expectations because I know anytime I donate on YouTube to a family member or something, there's always 100% of the time someone is going to blow up. Every time, 100%. So I just give with my heart and I say, God, this is what I'm giving it for. You know what they used it for. It's between you and the Lord. That's it. And that's what I do. I don't care if Chris and Katie got $20,000. I don't care if Seth got $20,000 in donations. I don't care. Either one of them equally. I don't care. If someone wanted to donate to any of them, that is between the donor and the person who gave it. You give with your heart, and that's that. That's just me, though.
There you go.
Wow.
I didn't even go to CrimeCon because I was out searching that day. I couldn't see myself going and being around people instead of not being out trying to find my kid.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, there's probably been some really good resources for me there.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
But you
Yeah.
know that most of those people that were there, except for some of the FBI agents, I have their phone numbers. I could call them
Yeah.
because they've already reached out to me. I just didn't see the point of being there.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I'll tell you, you weren't even there, and people were already losing their mind that you were. So it probably is a good thing that you didn't go. It's ridiculous. This is what
Yep.
YouTube is.
I do it from the
It's
heart.
it,
It's
it's
exactly right.
nuts. And when you
You
have
know,
grievance, oh, it makes me so mad.
for the longest, people have been drilling this into my head for a couple months now. YouTube is social media, but when I opened up my first YouTube account
Oh, that's sweet,
back in the
Maurice.
2000s, it was to listen to music. People,
Yeah.
it was just watch music videos, do it yourself videos. There wasn't all this stuff that's on it now. So yeah, I never really classified this as social media. To me, MySpace, that was social media. A lot better than Facebook because at least you had to know how to code. And I had a MySpace. I've had Facebook too, but it's just horrible.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
it's been years. It's been years since I had a Facebook. I used my Facebook account to save videos of Sebastian and pictures
Yeah.
because I had hard drives fried on me and I lost pictures. And I was like, I need someplace digital. You know what? I can use my Facebook profile and just make it private and nobody can see it.
Yeah.
And I saved pictures there. I've got pictures of me and Sebastian at the zoo, videos of me and Sebastian at the zoo watching the piranhas eat because that's what he wanted to do. So we had to make sure that we were one of the first ones into the zoo. We had to make sure that we had gotten all the way over to the fish area in there before they fed them
Thank
because
you,
they fed
Daisy.
them at the same time, every morning. And we literally, and we were there to watch.
You still have MySpace, Lucas? That's amazing. You remember we used to get the codes and you would paste it and you would have like music on your MySpace page and you could decorate it the way you wanted. That was so funny. That was so funny. When Facebook came around, I was like, I cannot have a song on my page. What is wrong with the world? Yep. Your page was decked out. Yeah. MySpace was the OG. It was. I used to I bought a I bought a shirt at Hot Topic and it said, "You looked better on MySpace." Uh,
All of like 15 seconds of them devour this huge chunk of meat. And he was
Oh
like,
my
that was
goodness.
awesome. And I couldn't even
I
I
love
couldn't
it.
even get my phone up, which was one of these old flip phones, to record it fast enough before they devoured it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you want some pictures of you next to the piranha? He was like, sure.
He loved the
And then
piranhas. Bless his little heart.
and then off to watch the snakes, off to sit there and look at all the other animals,
Oh my goodness.
He's an animal lover. He's always been. Yes, cats are his favorite. We had a bearded dragon when we were in California.
me
This was
too,
her name.
Rhonda.
She was beautiful.
Oh my
But when I
goodness.
wasn't allowed to have her, she died of scale rot. So
Oh.
did the next snake that Katie bought him.
So sorry.
All right.
Jeez. So he liked reptiles, huh? That was his and then cats, just animals in general.
Animals in general. But when we lived because we lived in
you,
Spring
Susan.
Valley, California for years.
Mhm.
And I had 2 dogs and we had Goose. And my ex threw a fit because I got rid of the dogs. Well, Sebastian was taking one for a walk, and the dog took off after another dog and dragged my son down the sidewalk.
Oh my goodness.
And no, you're not going to hurt my kid.
Right?
I had 2 of them. All right. And I wanted to train them.
Well, that's not the dog's fault, though. It's not the dog's fault. That is not the dog's fault. Dogs are dogs. You know?
To be able to work with Sebastian. He's autistic. But when that happened, couldn't do it. It was like, and I gave them away to good homes. I didn't sell them or anything like that. I literally turned around, gave one to the guy that lived across from us who had another place to live down in Mexico. And
It's not
he
the
took
dog's
him
fault.
out and took Abel out to a range. And Kane, I gave to one of the ladies at his school because she had just put her dog to sleep because her dog was old.
Oh.
And I was like, I tell you what, I've got a pity. You know, he was Stafford Razor Cross, gray, beautiful, beautiful pups. All right, I'm like, they're a little over a year old. They're still puppies, and I was like, you can have him. And I gave 50 pounds of dog food to her, and gave her, Kane. Like, here you go. And Sebastian didn't even realize the dogs were gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks that they were gone, and then I finally took the doggy door out of the hallway. And he walked up and he was like, "Why'd you do that, Dad? The dogs are going to come eat my toys." And I looked down and I was like, "Son, you had one job, and that was to feed and water the dogs in the morning before
Exactly.
I took you to school.
Exactly.
When was the last time you fed and watered the dogs?" And he was like, "Oh, I guess I should feed and water them." I was like, "Son, I already gave them away to new homes." And he was like, "Oh." I was like, "Don't worry, I gave them to good homes, though."
I agree.
He was like, "Okay."
I don't think I mean, if you get an animal, keep it.
He was younger then.
Yeah.
You know,
I
he wasn't attached to him like I was.
mhm.
You don't know that.
I want to ask you this because I really want to clear this up too, because this is another one that's on nagging my soul. It's been people, there are certain creators that keep saying this over and over, that Sebastian was going to be made to live with you because he was being punished. Can you please clarify that? Because I don't believe that's to be the case at all.
I'll clear it up with this comment.
I don't think there was any real stability in Sebastian's life, and there's not with a lot of kids. Trust me, trust. Than foster care, there's not a lot of stability in. I think everyone wants to know that they matter, that they're loved, and it's very important when they're very young to let your kids know that. It's very important throughout their entire childhood.
While I was homeless in California going through a divorce and finally got the restraining order and everything cleared up in the court system, where everything that somebody had stated about me was proven false.
There you go.
There was nothing could be proven that anything she said was legitimate at all, but everything that I stated was legitimate. Clear down to police reports for my son to
I will say that I believe that, in my opinion, that Chris and Katie were together. In my opinion only. Since they were, in the military together, and probably there, in my opinion, were affairs going on. So I believe maybe some of that is true, that was written, but I also believe that it was unfounded. It was unfounded. So there's that. I think that there was a lot of
Tell me
stuff
that he'd rather live in the car with
exaggerated
me
or
than in the
made up.
house with his mom. That should tell you
Yeah.
my son wasn't being punished to come live here with me. He thought he was being punished with online school, but he
There you
needed to
go.
get
True.
into therapy, and he needed to have that year of just being online school. And what people don't realize is that he'd have been going to online school, which I still have him registered for and enrolled. I'm just hoping that I have him found and back to me before school starts.
That's really sad. That's really sad. That's really sad right there. I just hope to have him find him back to me before school starts.
But he was going to school with with his god brother, because his godparents live up here in Clarksville too, which is why I live up here.
I have a question. Someone that wanted me to ask you this too. The day that they called you, Chris called you to tell you that. Here, right here, Jane. I see it, babe. Jane says, "Can Seth please explain the day that Chris called? He called you and told you Sebastian was missing, and when you arrived at the house, what Katie did with her phone to you."
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
What?
Like,
That's
what does
so
that mean to
bizarre.
me? What does that mean to me?
Crazy, Seth.
And Seth, does she not talk to
Hold on,
you
what was
ever
that?
by herself? Because he called you and told you Sebastian was missing, and when you arrived at the house, what Katie did with her phone to you.
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
What?
Like,
That's
what does
so
that mean to
bizarre.
me? What does that mean to me?
Crazy, Seth.
And Seth, does she not talk to you ever by herself? Because I noticed that Chris says like he kept in contact with you. Would Katie not co-parent with you one-on-one?
Sometimes it was difficult.
Okay.
Sometimes we could have, I mean, sometimes co-parenting is hard. It is hard, but you will do whatever you can to make sure that your child is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But I refused.
Mhm.
I refused to continue certain punishments from that house at my house because he didn't do it at my house.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that.
You know what I think the common denominator is between, you know what I think the problem is, my opinion, between Katie and Seth? My opinion, Chris. I think he's the common denominator with relationships breaking down around him. I think he is. Yep. Yep. My opinion, but I don't think we would be here today in the situation that we're in my opinion, if it wasn't for the middleman. That's my opinion.
That I teach co-parenting classes. You are right about that. And I did try to correct that.
I think they're both very, flawed individuals, and we're all flawed in our own way. Nobody's perfect. It's easier to point out someone's, flaws than it is your own. Understand it, get it. But I believe absolutely that the problem is Chris. Absolutely.
I heard people saying that if the kid gets in trouble at one house, the punishment should spill over to the other. And I said that is
I
not.
believe that only depends on what he did wrong.
I agree with that.
Well,
If he had sat there and hit a teacher or something, yeah, I don't approve of putting your hands on anybody, especially a female. Oh, hell no.
Let me go back to that.
It was difficult.
To you.
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
That's interesting. See, he was having a good day. That was Costco was Saturday. I absolutely personally think Sebastian. I mean, we know he was at the steakhouse Sunday afternoon. I personally absolutely believe he made it home.
What?
Like,
That's
what does
so
that mean to
bizarre.
me? What does that mean to me?
Crazy, Seth.
And Seth, does she not talk to you ever by herself? Because I noticed that Chris says like he kept in contact with you. Would Katie not co-parent with you one-on-one?
Sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes we could have. I mean, sometimes co-parenting is hard. It is hard, but you will do whatever you can to make sure that your child is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
ICU has a brand new grandbaby, so she's been out for a little bit. She'll be out for a little bit. She's been busy.
But I refused.
Mhm.
I refused to continue certain punishments from that house at my house because he didn't do it at my house.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. I teach co-parenting classes. You are right about that. And
There you go.
I did try to correct that. I heard people saying that if the kid gets in trouble at one house, the punishment should spill over to the other. And I said that is
I
not.
believe that only depends on what he did wrong.
I agree with that.
Well,
If he had sat there and hit a teacher or something, yeah, I don't approve of putting your hands on anybody,
Absolutely, Holly.
especially a female. Oh, hell no. So me and him are going to have a nice long talk for that hour that we get here. And I'm going to ask him what he thinks his punishment should be. But that's only going to be after I find out what his punishment has been at his mom and Chris's.
And that would be a specific example of where both parents would have to be called in for that particular type of infraction, right?
Right, where it would be
But
both.
Correct.
Like if you if
No.
your bedtime's 10 o'clock.
There is not independent footage, 6 cents. But the thing that we do know is, and they all agree on it, Chris, Katie, and Seth all saw the video of Sebastian at the steakhouse, and they all agree that they saw the photo at the steakhouse. So we do know that he was at the steakhouse based upon that. So there's that. We could hear the creator reach out to Seth last week. It's a miracle how they change face. Yeah. KP said Saturday was a normal day and that she always starts from breakfast time. No details from the time she gets home. Yeah. Hey, yep. I think you were timed out the other day. I fixed
Bob,
it. I
kid stays up
apologize.
to 10:30, 10:45, and you say, okay, well, you're grounded this weekend. That grounding should not happen at the co-parent's house. I've seen situations where one parent was actually weaponizing that so that every time the kid went over to the dad's house, he had to be grounded for the dad's weekend. So
Yeah, no, that's my weekend with him, not
There you
your
go.
weekend to control him.
that's exactly correct.
And
Absolutely.
and I told Katie a long time ago, when you divorce me, you lose all the protection that I give you. As in, you're no longer my spouse. And
Yes,
yeah, this may sound harsh,
and that
or
is right. If I didn't make myself clear on that, uh, where'd it go? It was of Sebastian and Katie getting in the car at the steakhouse, not inside the steakhouse.
rude or whatever. But that also means I don't have to treat you like I would my loved one,
Yep.
No, that's
because
true.
you violated your vows. You have stepped upon these vows that you took in front of somebody that are supposed to be in front of God, and you have trashed these vows because you don't want to work with me anymore. Got it. Well, I'll work with you when it comes to Sebastian, but don't expect the same treatment.
I don't think in my opinion, Seth wanted a divorce. It doesn't feel that way. Um, I think, he, probably still loves Katie.
From me that you got when I was married.
I
People
don't
think I'm not
understand.
over her. No, I still have good memories. I have a lot of good memories of me, Sebastian, and his mom. All
Yeah.
right. I never focused on the negative ones. I know them. I lived through it. But I always been the one that goes for the positive memories. The times that we were fishing on the dock in South Georgia while we're sitting there and I've got a net over Sebastian's rocker because Sebastian's an infant and we're out there fishing at night with him.
Oh.
Okay. I still remember things that she probably doesn't like to remember. Like, I had a pickup truck. I was the only one that was working. I was the only one. We only had one vehicle. And it started raining. And I told her, listen, it's raining outside. We have a kid. You're going to have to ride in the back. You can't drive a stick shift.
Thank you, Hollerish. I'm almost double that. I wish I was in my 20s, almost 40. But
If
thank
you could
you,
drive a stick,
Lisa.
I'll ride in the back. But she couldn't drive a standard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't take Sebastian home and come back and pick you up. There's nobody at the house. I'm not leaving him. I mean, let's be, common sense here. One of us has to ride in the back. Well, right after that, she got online and she was like, I found us a new truck. All right, that's cool. I still miss my little Toyota. You know, I I remember taking her to the
What's that,
DMV to give
Elisa?
her driver's license for the first
Thank you, Soldier Girl.
Oh.
time. Okay, I didn't groom this lady.
I get so
This
tired of that. Yeah, that's
this lady
awful.
didn't. She did not have the opportunities that children should have because of her father.
Katie had a rough childhood, a very rough childhood. I feel really, really bad for Katie's childhood. I think Katie and Chris were together. They were in love at one time, but I think, she went to the military. She got more independence. And I think she got with Chris. Chris's family has more money. Katie did not have that growing up or any type of security whatsoever. And to be honest with you, I mean, they probably struggled together whenever she was with Seth. And I think that was appealing to Katie, probably.
And the mistakes that her mother had made and the
More
mistakes that her
damage
father
than
made, she didn't get the opportunity. But as her husband, I was damned she's going to get these opportunities. I helped her buy her first car, sprayed my wrist, changing the brake pads on her first vehicle. You know,
Mhm.
people will make trash up because they're
Absolutely.
trashy people.
You're right about that. You're right
And then
about
they're going
that.
to get butthurt when they get a cease and desist because they're talking.
The truck story. She was made to ride in the back of a truck. How the heck did she drive there in the first place? Drive where? Drive where? I don't know. I think I don't know. Elizabeth Smart's foundation, they could point him in. Yeah, I agree, Linda G. He needs professional help if he feels like he needs help. In my opinion, he doesn't need someone who he doesn't need a YouTuber, a TikToker to represent him. Like he needs someone that if he feels like he needs help navigating this, a professional.
Garbage. And they're making me look bad, which I don't need anybody to help me do that. Thank you.
Well, I think calling somebody a predator,
Yes.
that's more than talking shit. That's okay.
He put Katie in the back of a truck while it rained because Sebastian was a baby and he wanted Sebastian in the seat. They drove there with all three in the truck. Where did they drive to? Can you imagine Katie in the back of a truck? I mean, I come from the farm, I came from the country. So that's all we did when we were kids was ride in the back of the truck. But once I became an adult and a man told me to get in the back of the truck, I'd have been like, no, no. They drove to go fishing, mudding, fishing. They were very small back then, yeah. I mean, I guess, if they all wanted to go fishing, ride in the back of the truck or what? I mean, let Katie drive then, or you get in the back of the truck. Let Katie in the back of the truck.
Fine.
Yeah.
They can't do that,
Yeah.
You're fine, sure.
So when I thought about that, I said, well, maybe that explains the cease and desist letters. I wouldn't let anybody say things like that.
When there's a YouTubers out there claiming that they made $20,000 off of my son.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's gross.
That is gross.
That is gross. That is gross. Someone keep your listen, if you're out bragging about how much you're making, whether it's YouTube or another job, I don't care what it is, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. And that actually is true. That actually is true because this is Seth is not the first one to say this. It's so money don't buy you class. I'll tell you that. Money don't buy you class. And of a lot of it, that person was fake.
They got a
stuff they
cease
were
and
putting
desist
out.
too. Because you're nasty. You're using the fact that
Oh
my
my
son's
goodness.
not here and telling people you make $20,000, you're pretty nasty.
Whoever
When when a
oh my
YouTube
God.
is that is literally here in Tennessee sits there and asks me about handguns, and I give him my personal opinion of what he should be looking for because of the performance, and he wants to talk about how much money he has. And I said, well, while you're at it, if you're making that much, why don't you buy two and give me one?
I agree with Seth on that. I agree with Seth with what he said. I think that was blown. That was made to be a lot worse sounding than it was. I can see Seth. Uh, country people will say, "Well, why don't you buy me one if you got all that?" It's a country thing. It's just people will brag about something. You're like, "Oh, it must be nice. Since you got all that, won't you buy me one?" It's a country thing. I absolutely believe Seth. Absolutely. 1000%.
No, the
I
pistol don't
will
cost two
believe him
thousand
on that.
dollars. They're
Absolutely.
$2,500.
Yes.
I've been saving up for 4 months before my son went missing to get it. Do you think I have that money now? No, I spent that money in doing other things.
Right.
Right.
Dude, did I want it? I sure did. That was going to be a birthday present from me to me. Now I just want to find my son.
I get it.
What was he wanting to buy? What was Seth wanting to buy? A, a what was he wanting to buy? Oh, listen.
I don't give
Man,
a fuck about present.
pew
I give a
pews
fuck
and
about being able
puppies.
to hold my baby boy.
Hold on a minute. I want to clarify that right now. Are you saying that the person bragged to you about making that money?
Yes.
Oh my
That is
God. I
that's
can't
just
with that.
crazy.
I'm sorry, y'all. That right there is awful.
It's like
That is
Please
you are
don't
horrific.
such a
mention
piece of
creators.
shit.
Please don't mention
And to think that I come onto your thing and I think that you have my back and I tell you to be safe while you're out there doing what you're doing in other states because I've been taken advantage of by YouTubers, content creators, more like copy clickers, because they just want to take interviews and dissect them. Oh, did you see how his eyeball twitched? Oh, he keeps his hand up above. I've got nerve damage in my right arm and I can't even make it into an MRI. I've been waiting for over a month, close to 2, for an MRI. All right. Yeah. I'm
Oh, thank you so very much, Tammy. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Very kind of you, my love.
there's days that I cannot pull myself out of my bed.
I can tell. I mean, this has taken a toll.
Yes, it's too
And
much.
he's had the shoulder thing for a long time. He would have it whether Sebastian was missing or not. However, stress will make pain exaggerate as well. That is true. Um, but this has really nothing to do with finding Sebastian, his shoulder,
Have
or
you
anything like that. So.
would you be able to just sort of stay away from the whole YouTube stuff for a week or so just to kind of give
I
yourself
did. That's why I deleted my account. I deleted my account. I couldn't even watch any music or anything. Thank God I'm old enough that I still have CDs.
yeah.
Bless your heart. It's not good for anybody. It's not, especially, listen, I as a creator myself, I've said this before you've been on my panel, and I'll say it again. When it comes to cases with missing children or tragedies or anything like that, this place is a cesspool.
It is.
for families. It's horrible what they're doing to you.
I have not got 100% confirmation on that, but I do believe he does. But I don't want to say that he does because I don't have 100% confirmation on that yet.
You, what's happened to many others. It's absolutely gross.
You know what's? It is gross, but you know what? When you
Oh, thank you, Oddball. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very sweet of you, my dear. Oh. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The only thing, like, guys, we got to be here for Sebastian. We've got to be here for Sebastian. This stuff just muddies the water. It really does. It just muddies the water. Does anyone know how much more of this there is? Because after this, we're going to talk about real things.
get people that are paying people to continue to do it, where is the? I mean, really, you can't blame them. People want to pay for the drama. They're like, this is better than cable TV.
It's sad,
And
but
it's
it's
like
so true.
the only difference is this is real life. This isn't Law and Order. This is literally somebody's life.
An hour
Well,
more?
Seth, I mean, on mainstream TV,
Okay.
the reality TV shows, people flock to that, right?
They do.
I don't have TV. I had Netflix. That's about it.
It gets worse.
Now I don't
Well-
even have that. I actually
Well-
haven't had a TV subscription. I stopped watching TV when my doctor told me.
Will I play the Screaming Chicken? Yes, because I think the world needs a Screaming Chicken right now. I'll be honest with you. Oh, please do not mention creators, mods. Please delete that. I don't want. Please don't mention creators. Please, please, please.
Katie! Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Grace!
How about that? Lighten it up a little bit. Lighten it up. What was that Pearl just said? Hold on. Justin, wait till he mentions who is making the 20,000. Jenny B. Who's Jenny B? Take that, cluckers. Mother chickens.
You need to stop watching the news because
Yeah,
the news is affecting your health.
absolutely.
And that was back in 2011.
Yes. And they
So I was like, I tell you what, that's $120 that could be put towards something else.
absolutely agree. But the reality TV where they take a group of people that don't know each other, put them in a house together, and then they add a bunch of alcohol, and then they film and watch as these people just go through their days fighting and being ugly. There's a certain element of our population today that what they like, and I think.
All right, guys, I'm done with this interview. I'm done with it. We're not. No offense, but they're not really talking about anything that really matters to me because they're not really talking about anything. So Thank you for that. Now, let's talk about stuff that matters. Let's just talk about stuff that matters. Um, okay. So, I was just kind of done with it. No offense to anybody. All right. So, I am going to be compiling let me just show you this 1 second. And this is what every human being needs to be a healthy human being. It's very important. The general is physical sustenance, security, sustenance, I can't say the word, security, freedom, connection to matter, meaning, understanding, sense of self, transcendence. So one like physical would be air, food, health, movement, physical safety, security, consistency, order, peace of mind, protection, freedom of choice, ease, independence, leisure, relaxation, humor, joy, play, connection, affection, attention, closeness, companionship, to matter, acceptance, care, compassion, empathy, kindness, community, belonging, communication, meaning, sense of self, um, creativity, dignity, growth, understanding, clarity, awareness, meaning, aliveness, challenge, consciousness, and transcendence, beauty, celebration of life, communion, faith, flow. So that is what every human being needs. Whether you are, doesn't matter who you are, how big of a badass you are, how big of a non badass you are, that's what you need. Every human being to be a healthy human being. And none of us get out of this world without some fuck ups. Don't get me wrong. Nobody is perfect. But still, um, it's important. It's important that especially kids, right? Especially kids. All right. So I'm putting together videos of the biggest red flags in my opinion when it comes to Chris and Katie, because no matter what, in my opinion, I believe, well, we know that Katie is the last one with Sebastian. We know that. And I believe their story does not make sense at all. At all. And we keep finding stuff almost every single day. And there was let me pop this up here. Bear with me 1 second so I can uh let me pop it up. Does FBI assisting mean I could go to my local office and show them something since it needs to be pointed out? Just wondering. Probably not. Probably not. I mean, you can email them and you can call FBI as well. So there's always that. You can always do that as well. Okay. Now, there's something that I wanted to pull out. I got to find it. It's on Web Sleuths. Whenever Chris is freaking the hell out, right? It was crazy. I'm gonna find it. I just got on from Storm Hugs and Kisses. Oh, you okay, Daily? The storms have been really bad. They've been really, really bad. Okay, let me see if I can find it. It's not far after he comes up here. Listen how he comes up.
Light to our guests. Here, I'm going to change the banner really quickly so everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay, you sound angry. Talk to me.
Oh,
What?
Very.
Talk to me. We don't want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well,
So
I understand that, but let me help you with something.
He comes up like a bull in a china shop. Instantly he comes up like a bull in a china shop.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So let me go ahead and address a few things and help y'all out.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, other than the one that Seth was talking to Trevor like that, I don't see how anyone can compare Chris and Seth. I don't see it. I don't see it. No, please don't be deleting anybody unless they're disrespectful.
Chloe, you're the PI. I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me. You ain't done anything, first off.
Heather has been
is the only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me or to my wife.
I
So for you
actually
to sit on this
reached out to
show
you
and sit here
a month
and
or
give
so ago.
information that you have, that you don't have all the answers to, is a problem.
Okay, well, Chris, help us understand, because I know Chloe.
I think it's
and Chloe wants to help. And the last thing Chloe would do is want to put out misinformation. And the problem is,
I understand that. So let me just smash something real quick.
Okay.
Smash.
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think that triggered him in this? Like, what do you think it was? Because I don't know why he's so triggered in this. Bridget, I believe there are qualities that are very similar between the two.
Sure, what y'all got?
You think it was the PIs?
Say, that'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
Okay.
It does not matter what goes on in my house. We're looking for my son. That's real simple.
Your stepson, right?
It doesn't matter. Stepson, my son. All the kids are treated as if they're your own. There is no title, a stepson, a son.
Bringing up Katie's family. Well, that's what he says, but it's not like they hadn't been brought up before. You know what I mean? Like it had already been brought up before.
It doesn't matter.
He says it was because of bringing up Katie's family, but JLR, that was weeks prior at that point. You know, brought that out.
That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own.
Okay, Chris, may I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and let me tell you why people are asking personal questions about you and your wife. Okay, it's because of the situation in which Sebastian has gone missing, and they're wondering if whatever happened between you and your wife, does it have something to do with Sebastian going missing? I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian. And
Okay.
Like Trish from Web Sleuth, like she is very easy to get along with, right? Like she's always got a very calming voice, constantly, trying to de-escalate. You can speak with her, they're trying to de-escalate it, but the only one up there screaming and cussing the entire time of this interview is Chris. And that is a fact.
So let me make this even crystal clear for you.
okay,
And everybody out there that's
I think Chris should name his new dog Crystal. His new dog should be named Crystal. I swear on it. It should be Crystal.
got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you
Yeah,
know
Lolo.
anything about, when honestly you don't know a damn thing. And that's the problem. You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have
Crystal
no idea
in that
what
way.
me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
I think that he might find the PIs intimidating, perhaps. Do you think it could be because because I don't really think it was about Katie's family or anything, because weeks prior to that was already put out.
okay.
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very pissed off stepfather to this whole situation.
Okay, and I understand, and I hear what you're saying. But again,
So let me help y'all with something. 'Cause
okay,
y'all said some shit that's really, y'all have no, it's really none of your damn
Kitty,
business.
thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. That'll help. Couple days. Well, the 14th, I'm going to Tennessee. So thank you for that. Thank you for the Cash App. I really do appreciate it.
But since you brought it up, I'm clearing.
For those of you on the Summer Wells case, I'll be going to Tennessee shortly, and we'll be talking about Summer Wells case coming up in a few days.
okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after he went missing.
I don't think
Why my
anybody said
parents
that.
went to Alaska was because my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after he went missing.
Oh no,
They
it's
said,
out there. Trust me, because I have.
Okay, I
terabytes.
did not say that.
nobody
I didn't say
said that
you.
here.
I
Okay,
said people.
okay.
Now I have
Hey,
terabytes
Debbie,
of videos.
listen, you guys don't have to be in the bushes. Listen, I was in the closet for years. Come out of the closet, come out of the bushes. It's okay. You don't have to stay in the bushes. We're going to trim them so you can't hide in them. Trim your bush. People, trim your bush.
Of Seth on here saying some vile stuff. I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
But
Trust me, what I'm bringing to you is not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
No way.
I understand. No, and
Not
Chris,
finding the
I'm
bushes.
glad you cleared that up. That's a
So,
good.
and by
It
the way,
is
they didn't
sometimes,
go
yeah.
for a month.
Okay.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom
Okay.
was with him. But it's
You
really
got me there,
nobody's
Unicorn.
business.
You got me
Well,
there. You
but-
got me there. Oh, thank you, Daisy Love. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sometimes you know, it's just you gotta laugh a little. Otherwise, You will go crazy. Trim your hedges. Okay, maybe Carmelita, trim your hedges. Is that better? Trim your hedges.
But Chris, let me, and please understand, I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. When you ask the public for help,
I mean, the cat is telling him off at this point. The cat is telling him off. Thank you, Heaven. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate your support. Thank you. Trim your bush down so dirty. Well, I mean, we've had 2 bushes for president. Does that sound dirty?
they're going to look at everything and try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me tell, from an outsider looking in,
A cat
it's
will.
okay.
A
His
cat'll tell you.
parents left town
Meow the meow
shortly
off.
after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is
Lilith?
speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you. And I understand.
Lilith is like, don't talk to my mommy like that. Lilith does not like a man talking to her mommy like that. Lilith is like, meow the meow off, mother meower.
Stand it. And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just
Right,
clear it
ma'am.
up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian. And this is what we do. We try and think
She's so mad it sounds like a vet shopping.
outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on.
That's
It
right,
is
Brett.
not
Problem with
meant-
thinking outside of the box does nothing
Do
but
clearly.
cause speculation. And it causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? Not
Okay.
you. I'm saying the public.
Well, the funeral home comment, it was your cousin or your uncle, I can't remember, Chris, that said, please pray for my nephew or my cousin Chris. And it said something funeral home on it. So it's probably that one right there. Catherine, thank you so much for your support, my dear. You guys are good to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Truth Sleuth, thank you, honey. You didn't have to do that. That's so kind of you. In my opinion, Justin and the Piaz and Web Sleuths are now on the defensive, and there is very little talking about what happened to Sebastian. I feel Chris is deflecting and redirecting again. Keep us on target, Justin. That's the thing, truthfully. There is so much out here, right? Just out here. Everyone's fluttering, everyone's going crazy, talking about stuff that does not matter. It doesn't, I mean, it does matter, but it doesn't matter. You know, there's priorities. There's priorities. And, you know, what Chris, Seth, Katie did, you know, whenever, it doesn't have anything to do necessarily with Sebastian. We need to keep, you know, I mean, it can be a pattern, right? And that does matter. Patterns do matter. But, you know, I try to base everything off of what comes from their mouth, what they are saying. And, you know, you don't like Chris, fine. You don't like Katie, fine. You don't like Seth, fine. But we've got to stay focused. We got to stay safe. But thank you for that. It's very generous of you, Truth Sleuth. Thank you for your support. Deborah, thank you so much, dear, for gifting one pearl necklace. Very sweet of you. Thank you, my dear. If you received the pearl necklace from Deborah, please give her a big thank you. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you again, Truth Sleuth. Very kind, generous of you Chris is so worried about his image. I think people who may be worried about that, but then they explode, I think they're just proving kind of who they really are. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sharon. I have the best people. I do. And you're
And
part
so
of it.
that, Chris, that's why it is great that you're here, because we want to clear this up and help you get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris, when it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that.
Well,
But
It doesn't
and
matter,
I
though.
did want to
That
clear it
does
up.
not
Chris.
matter.
I
Doesn't
did want
matter
to clear it
one
up,
iota.
Chris. I
Chris?
did reach out to you on March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my
Okay.
question publicly.
People was asking about, is Faith with Chris? And I think this is a lot of the reason why Chris has not been coming online. And so here is Nina, or someone saying, praying for you. It's only for a summer, right? And then we got Nina saying, good night, honey. I love you, one day ago. And then we're trying to stay busy, right? Or trying to stay busy. So, oh yeah, he got a new dog. Yep. Sebastian can't even have a snake. Sebastian can't even have a freaking snake. I'll never understand it. Never, never, never understand it. So it looks as if she. How do you know that? Well, I mean, they can say the puppy is for Faith, but is the puppy going home with them, with Faith? Doubt it. So I think it might be I think it's probably really Chris's. Let me see. Guys, listen, I'm going to end this here because JLR is interviewing the neighbor across the street. After it's done, I'll be live again. Go over to JLR's. We'll talk about it.